Ever wondered if your ex still thinks about you? Well, you're not alone. It's a question that plagues many of us long after a relationship ends. Is there a part of them that still lingers on us, our memories, our shared moments? It's natural to ponder, to seek signs, to decode hidden meanings. So, let's dive into this intriguing world of post-breakup curiosity. We're about to explore 7 unmistakable signs that your ex might still be thinking about you. Here are 7 clear indicators your ex is thinking about you. Firstly, if your ex has been reaching out more often than usual, it's a clear sign. Now let's unpack this a little. An unexpected text or call from your ex can definitely leave you wondering what's going on. But remember, communication doesn't happen without a reason. If you find your ex reaching out to you more frequently, especially if it's out of the blue, it's a key indicator they might still have you on their mind. It could be anything from a casual, "How are you doing?" to a more in-depth conversation. You see, everyone has their own way of communicating. So it might not always be a direct phone call or text. It could be an email, a comment on your social media post, or even a like on an old photo. These little breadcrumbs of communication are a telltale sign that they're thinking about you, even if they aren't saying it outright. So remember, if your ex is texting or calling you more frequently, they're probably thinking about you. Secondly, if your conversations are filled with nostalgia, that's another sign. Now let's delve into this. When those old shared experiences start creeping back into your chats, it might be more than just casual reminiscing. It could be a subtle sign that your ex is thinking about you more than they would like to admit. Imagine this. You're talking about a random topic, and out of nowhere they bring up that hilarious inside joke you both had, or perhaps they fondly remember that weekend getaway you took years ago. These seemingly harmless trips down memory lane are actually their subconscious, trying to relive those moments with you. And it's not just about the big stuff either. If they remember the smallest details like the song that was playing on your first date, it's a pretty clear indicator. So, pay attention to these nostalgic conversations. An ex who's constantly bringing up the past clearly has you on their mind. Thirdly, if your ex is stalking you on social media, they're definitely thinking about you. Now, we're not talking about the occasional like or comment here and there. No, we're referring to a constant online presence. They're the first to like your new post. They're always viewing your stories, and their comments. Oh, they're plentiful, and often a bit too enthusiastic. Imagine you post a picture of a sunset, and there they are, reminiscing about the time you both watched the sun go down together. Or maybe they're always leaving thoughtful comments on your posts trying to engage with you. And it's not just about the posts they interact with, it's also about the posts they don't. If they're avoiding liking or commenting on photos where you seem happy or are with someone else, that's another sign. If your ex can't resist checking out your online life, they're thinking about you. Fourthly, if your ex is constantly asking mutual friends about you, it's a strong sign. They are not reaching out directly, but they're using a lifeline. A connection that still ties you two together. Our mutual friends. It's like they're trying to keep tabs on your life without having to face you directly. Think about it, we don't usually spend our time asking about people we don't care about, right? So, if your ex is persistently inquiring about your whereabouts, your current relationship status, or even your mood, it's a clear indication that they're thinking about you. They're curious, they're interested, they're not indifferent. They want to know if you're happy, if you're seeing someone else, if you're moving on. This indirect communication is their way of staying connected to you, of keeping you in their life in some way. It's their subtle way of expressing that they still care. An ex who's always asking about you clearly has you on their mind. Fifthly, if your ex remains single and isn't dating anyone, they might still be thinking about you. It's a natural part of moving on to explore new relationships, to seek out new connections. But if your ex has remained conspicuously single, it could be a sign that they're still hung up on you. They may not be ready to let go, or they may be hoping for another chance. Here's why this is a strong indicator they're thinking about you. Being single is often a choice, especially when it extends for a significant period after the breakup. It can suggest that they're not over you, that they're still dealing with the fallout of your relationship. They might be comparing potential partners to you and finding them lacking, or they might simply be unwilling to risk a new relationship when they're still hoping for a reconciliation with you. An ex who's not moving on is likely still thinking about you. Sixthly, if your ex is trying to make you jealous, it's a clear sign they're thinking about you. Now there are several ways an ex might attempt to provoke this emotion. For instance, they may suddenly parade a new partner around, especially when they know you're watching. It's not uncommon to see your ex posting pictures or sharing updates about their new flame on social media platforms. This is a common strategy to make you feel a pinch of envy. Alternatively, they might flaunt a luxurious lifestyle, showing off fancy holidays, extravagant purchases, or an exciting social life. They aim to create an image that they're doing exceptionally well without you. Although it might seem as though they're simply moving on, these actions often betray a deeper motive. However, remember, these attempts to incite jealousy are not necessarily a sign of malicious intent. It's often a misguided way of dealing with the pain of a breakup. An ex who's trying to make you jealous has you on their mind? Finally, if your ex is acting out of character, they're probably thinking about you. You've known them long enough to recognize their usual behavior. So if you notice they're suddenly acting differently, it might not be a coincidence. Whether they're engaging in attention-seeking antics or showing a sudden interest in your hobbies, these changes are usually not random. They're calculated moves designed to get your attention. And why would they want your attention if they weren't thinking about you? An ex who's acting differently is likely still thinking about you,